Hello. If you're on, say hello. I'm trying to share this. Give me just a second. Hello, Nikki. Almost there. Give me just a second. Nikki, I'm also in Kentucky. I am in London, Kentucky, if you know where that is. Hi, Kyla. I think I've got me shared where all I'm supposed to be. If you are on and watching, make sure that you jump on my original. And Todd County, okay. Let me make sure that I've got my video on public now that I said that. Yes, it is. If you're on, jump on my real page to where the video is posted, and then I will be able to see your comments. I can't see comments unless you are. So I'm hoping that you guys can help me out with this live and ask questions. So my live tonight is going to be on my life on keto. So my journey, what I do, what I've done, what I plan on continuing doing. And I know a lot of people have questions, and I would love to help you out if I can. I don't have all the answers, but hi, Miss Marty. I will try my best to answer questions as best that I can. I have a child behind me. But let me make sure I've got it on public, but I'm pretty sure I do. Yes, I do. Okay. So if you will, get on my original video so I will be able to read your comments, and we will get started. So April 28th of 2020, I was at work. I had just sat down, had lunch, and probably hadn't finished my lunch when I felt horrible. I was sick at my stomach, which is how I felt every time I ate. I just felt horrible, whether it was a healthy meal or whether it wasn't a healthy meal. I didn't really have very many healthy meals. I kind of ate what I wanted. I was at my heaviest. I weighed 256 pounds. I had gained 30 pounds after losing my brother, and I honestly, I didn't care. I ate my feelings. Something I've pretty much always done. Stress, eat. Anxiety, eat. Happy, eat. Sad, eat. Eating was what I did. If I ate good for a week, I rewarded myself with food. I mean, it was just bad habit after bad habit after bad habit. And a few times, my children had informed me that I was fat. Now, my children are 6 and 8 at the time, or, 5 and 7. So, I mean, they just know the truth. So, it was hurtful, but it is what it is. But getting back, when I ate lunch that day, I was so sick. And I was just like, I don't know what it's going to take, but something has to give. I wondered, am I pre-diabetic? Is it something? Something's just not right with my body. In the past, I've tried the fad diets. I've tried it all. I had done keto in the past, and I lost 25 pounds. I rewarded myself for it with a great cheat meal, and that was the end of it. I gained it all back because that cheat meal just kept going on and on and on and on. So I finally decided that day on April 28th, I was like, God, just help me. I'm tired of being the way I am. I hate to look at myself. My kids don't like the way that I look because they've told me. Why? I want to change. Help me change. And I swear that's when it hit me, and I was like, I'm the one putting the food in my mouth. I'm the one making the decisions. It doesn't matter that me and my husband are going out to eat. It doesn't matter that I'm the one cooking dinner. It doesn't matter. I'm the only one that is putting that food in my mouth. I'm the one making that decision. I hear a lot of people say, and I was one, dieting's been impossible because my husband wants to go out to eat. Well, nobody was making me put that bread in my mouth except for me. So that day, I realized I was the problem. It was nobody else. Nobody else was the problem but me. Sorry, Marty, yes. So before I hurt anybody's feelings, I'm a blunt person, and I just kind of tell it like it is. I'm sorry if I offend you. I don't mean anything offensive. This is my story, and hello, Brittany. It's just the way it is, and sugarcoating it was what my problem was to begin with. So I had to admit that I was the one with the problem. It was me. Yes, you're your problem. So I went home that day. Well, actually, before I went home that day, I made a list because I am a list person. I am a list checker offer. And yes, Kyla, that is a word. I have to check off lists. Every day I have to write down what I have to do that day. And sometimes I have to go back from the day before and write it all back down. And I have to mark things off as I go. So my list started. Clean fridge, clean deep freeze, clean cabinets, clean fridge outside. I mean, all of it. I went home that day and I opened up the freezer and I threw away all the ice cream. If there was some things in there that I didn't like the kids' popsicles, I left them. Anything I liked, I threw away. Then I went to my fridge. I got rid of the Mountain Dews. I got rid of the Dr. Peppers. I got rid of everything. I went through and I got rid of puddings, jellos, yogurts, desserts, you name it. Brittany, most of the stuff I did put on Facebook. It was like, hey, I have a bag of these chicken tenders. If anybody wants to come to my house and get them, I'll put them on the porch. They're yours for free. I gave my neighbors bags of food. I took bags of food to my work and gave it to my coworkers. I did. I got rid of the pastas, the macaronis, the breads. I mean, you name it, I threw away everything. Because that was the only way that I was going to be able to have my start, if that makes sense. So, my poor family had to starve with me until my cravings left. So I stopped sugar. Sugar was the main thing I knew I had to get rid of, because as long as I had sugar in my body, I was going to crave the sweets. I was going to crave the breads. I was going to crave everything, because all that stuff has sugar in it. So until I detoxed from the sugar, I knew I was going to crave it. It honestly did not take me 2, maybe 3 weeks, maybe, before I was back buying the breads, the chips, the pastas, whatever my family wanted, I was buying, but I wasn't having any of it. I was sticking to grilled chicken, steak, pork chops, bacon, eggs. I mean, I was just doing, anything I could find that was no carbs. I was doing it. That was all I knew. I had researched it. I was in a group. I had a friend, a really great friend, still friends, and she was doing the keto. And I watched her for almost a year. And I was on board with her at first too. And I watched her, where I was, lose all the way down from like 220 pounds down to 120 pounds. I mean, I watched her lose every pound, and I envied her. And the whole time I was like, why can't I? And it was because she was strict. No cheats. In 1 year, she didn't have one cheat meal at all. She found other ways to reward herself, because think about it. You're working your ass off to lose this weight and to be healthy and to change your lifestyle. And then you're going to go and reward yourself with what you're getting rid of, the food. And that's what you're rewarding yourself with. You are undoing everything you just did. Now, I know everybody's like, you should be able to have what you want. Go for it. But in my case, I can't. Because if I did, the 90 pounds that I've lost in the maybe 304, 305, 36, I haven't counted it back up since for a while, but I would say I'm in the low 300s. Everything I would have done would have been for nothing. I wanted it so bad. I wanted so bad to be healthy. I wanted so bad for my kids to be proud of me. And I wasn't going to stop. And I knew if I gave in to anything, I was going to be right where I was every other time I tried a diet or I tried whatever. I promised myself this wasn't a diet. This was my lifestyle. This was going to be my lifestyle from here on out. I either did it, and I either went all in, or I didn't do it at all. My parents always told me, if you're going to do something, give it your all, give it everything you have, and don't half-ass it. Do it with everything in your heart. And I knew this was the time that I really needed to do that. And I didn't need to half it, because I want results. Hi, Miss Gracie. So, there's lots of things that I do, and I know a lot of people have questions. So if you have questions, start asking me, because honestly, I don't know where to to keep talking, except for I will tell you, if you are going to do keto, the number one thing you have to do is have electrolytes, because if you don't, you will have what they call keto flu, and you will be sick, and it will take everything in you to even get off the couch. And there are so many electrolytes that you can do. Now, I don't do fake keto, so I don't do keto in a box. I don't do ketones. My body and your body will do it on its own. Your body will go into ketosis on its own. You don't need fake stuff. All it is money. Something that you can do on your own, they're saying will happen overnight, and it doesn't. Your body will do it. You can go into ketosis in like 72 hours. It's there. But for electrolytes, I take an electrolyte pill, and I should have grabbed it. It's in the bathroom. It's an electrolyte pill. And then I put these in my water, and that's all I drink is water. This is a Walmart brand, and as you can see, I'm trying to see if you can see it. It says electrolytes right here above it. And that's the Walmart brand, and it's fruit punch, and it's really good. It's my favorite. And then Mio Sport makes one, electrolytes plus B vitamins. And make sure they have all kinds of different flavors. Make sure it says electrolytes, because they have some that says caffeine. They have different kinds. I always use the electrolytes. So Marty, so like today, this is what I've had today. This morning I woke up and I had roast that I had cooking all night long. So in my roast was just onions and celery. I don't eat typical meals. I eat just whatever my body's craving. I've learned just to fuel my body and not really eat meals. That might not make sense. If I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I want a salad, I make a salad. You know, whatever I think that is going to get me until my next meal and I'm not going to be hungry or moody or whatever, that's what I do. So today I had a roast. For lunch, I had the rest of it. And then for dinner, I had a salad. Yesterday, I had bacon, 2 fried eggs for breakfast. And then for lunch, trying to think what I had for lunch. I think I had a salad at lunch. And then for dinner, we had pizza yesterday. So, I do eat pizza. I do not eat the crust. All I do is eat the toppings off the pizza. So, I ordered a supreme pizza, and all I literally do is eat the cheese and the toppings off of it. I mean, you're basically pretty much, if you have any carbs, it's like minimal 1 or 2, and that's it. And that's usually coming from the sauce. But when you get Little Caesars pizza, there's hardly any sauce on it, so I don't even really worry about it. Yes, I don't always have the typical meals. Now, some pizza places will have a crustless pizza, which they'll have a bowl, and inside of it they'll put sauce, tons of mozzarella cheese, and whatever toppings you want in it, and then they bake it. I've tried a few of them. I found that if you put pepperoni in them, which pepperoni is a 0 carb. Thank you, Miss Gracie. Red Love. It's really greasy. It's a little too greasy for me to eat. I have to put napkins on top of it, soak up the grease. Now, your fats is what is good for you. You have to have fat. So a lot of people, they count calories and they count their carbs and all that. So I usually typically stay under 10 carbs a day, 10 net carbs, sometimes 15. but I definitely don't go over 15 carbs. But most people, they try to stay at 5% carbs, 25% protein, and 70% fat. And that sounds like a lot. Fat is good for you. When I felt like I was stalling, I would up my fat. And I don't track my food every day. I do in my mind. In my mind, I do. So I pretty much now know, because I keep everything simple. I am a simple eater. I can eat the same thing every day, all day, and I don't get tired of it. Praise the Lord. Because if not, I would have a really probably hard time with this, because I'm kind of a picky eater. I don't like avocados. I don't like things like that. But the last I heard, avocados were pretty high in carbs. Don't shoot me if I've got that wrong, but that's just what I heard. So your fat is good. So vegetable oil is 0 carbs, but vegetable oil is not that great. Vegetable oil causes inflammation. So, and it throws off your omega ratios, which causes inflammation. My doctor had to explain this to me, and she said that coconut oil, avocado oil, and olive oil are your 3 best oils to use when you cook. Most times I use bacon grease because I cook bacon with everything. Bacon is my go-to. I did not track my macros. Net carbs, yes. Protein and fats, yes. So I have a few apps that I use. One of them is called the Simple app. One of them is called Fit Index, and that one is linked to my scale. And that's what, when you step on my scale, it'll come up and it says, it'll tell your body fat. It tells your mass. I mean, it tells everything. And I use that. And, I'm trying to think. There's another one that I use. MyFitnessPal. Sorry, I'm totally blank. I use MyFitnessPal. And that's where where at the beginning I logged my food, and I still log in there every day. I am a person that has to be on the scale every day. It gives me anxiety if I don't get on the scale every day. It's just something that I have to have. Even if I'm not having a weight loss, but I'm still losing inches, I still have to weigh. I try to weigh at the same time every morning when I first wake up. I have to. And I know a lot of people say, oh, you should only do it once a week or once a month, but I'm sorry. Some of us just have to. So I think you should do what makes you happy. I did not plateau a lot. I am now. I have 21 more pounds to go, and I have been at 166 pounds since February 15th. I have not lost 1 pound since February 15th. I haven't gained, but I haven't lost. I've stayed the same, and it's killing me. Because my goal is to lose 21, my goal was to lose 24 pounds before April 2nd, because that's when we're going on vacation. So now I'm down to 21 pounds, and I have like 31, maybe. I have like 30 some days to do it, and it's not looking too good. Which I knew when I made that goal that it was going to be nearly impossible, but I like goals. So I did it anyways. So like the last 2 months, I've only lost 5 pounds a month, when before I was losing like 10 pounds a month. And closer to when I began, man, I was dropping like 20 pounds a month. I mean, I was losing probably 3 pounds a week, we'll say. And that is a healthy number. You know, if you counted calories and you just counted calories and you didn't worry about anything else, you could lose up to 2 pounds a week. And I did that for a while, but I gained that weight right back. So I find that the keto is the way for me to go. It's maintainable for me. Well, thank you, Marty. You know, I feel a lot better, and it's just really, I don't know. I'm really proud of myself. I pat myself on the back a lot because I've come a long way, and I wish I could be as strict with other things as I am with this. Kyla, I don't even know if they're healthy fats, but I get my fats. I do use olive oil to cook with. I find that, you know, with olive oil, it doesn't really matter the heat that I'm cooking with. That, and I swear I use bacon grease for everything. And I go to the doctor, I have all of my blood work and everything done, and everything is really good. Hello, Miss Susan. The only thing that my doctor was concerned about was my ketones in my blood, or ketones in my urine or blood. I'm not sure which one that they did was really high. And I was excited because, you know, when you're in ketosis, you're burning fat. And I was excited. And she was like, I don't know, they're awful high. And I was just like, yes. So I didn't let that bother me. All I can say is keep it simple. When you try to do too many things, so for me, again, this is all me. I didn't try to exercise. I don't exercise. I wish I could say I did exercise. I might not have a little loose skin if I would have. Because I do have some loose skin. Thank you, Miss Ashley. I don't exercise. Every now and then I get to walk, but I mean, that's once in a blue moon. I didn't want to get overwhelmed. You know, when you start something new and you want to stick with it, if you keep adding stuff to it, you get burnout. I get burnout. And I get to where I'm just like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm done. And I didn't want to get to that point. So it was one thing after another. So I was like, okay, I'm going to lose 110 pounds. That was my goal, 110 pounds. I'm going to lose that. Then I'm going to work on getting lean and toned. Now, it'll be a little hard because now I'm going to have that loose skin. I'm also 40, so, you know, I mean, I don't take collagen products or anything like that because I don't take powders. I don't take anything because I don't feel like you need it. Hello, Miss Linda. I just don't feel like you need it. See, Kyla, and that's where a lot of people differ because they can't eat the same. So, I keep it simple. So there's always Pinterest, and there's lots of people that go to Pinterest or Google or whatever you want to use. And they have these big recipes. And all I can sit and think is I don't want to go through all the trouble to make that. I mean, they have these noodles, or I don't even know what they are. And you can cook them and then use this sugar-free spaghetti sauce, and, you know, you can have your spaghetti. But it's just too much to me, and I know what spaghetti tastes like, and I know what noodles taste like. So to me, it's not, I don't want to do that. A lot of people use, but I do enjoy cooking. I do enjoy cooking, and I love baking, and I still do both. I do both for my family. I cook them whatever they want. I bake them whatever they want. And at first my husband was afraid to eat in front of me. He would be like, you know, with a piece of bread from Texas Roadhouse, you know, over in the corner. And then I'm like, I honestly don't care. I don't want any. So, now, you know, it's nothing. He doesn't care. I'm getting bunny ears. This is my oldest. This is Mason. This is my 8-year-old. It's really, I think it's really what you feel. If you feel like you can cook all of these keto meals and be able to enjoy them, then I think that's great for you. It's just, I can't. A lot of people use those fat bombs, and I'm not exactly sure what is in the fat bombs, but I don't eat them. Now, another thing is I'm allergic to nuts. I have a severe nut allergy, so no peanut butter for me, no nuts of any kind whatsoever. So a lot of people, you know, for a snack, and I don't really snack, so I don't snack in between meals. I'm not hungry. I do keep my big cup, and I constantly have this, and I constantly keep it filled. I never have it empty. And I drink. So if I ever feel hungry, I drink, because most of it's in your mind. At the very beginning, I went to bed hungry every night. My stomach would be growling and growling and growling. Honestly, I really wasn't hungry, but my body was like, you need to eat. You need to eat. I survived. And actually now I love that feeling of being able to say, I made it another day. I made it another day. So, Mason, please stop. Okay. You need to go to bed. I love you. Good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. So, I mean, to me, it's about simple. Just keeping it simple. And again, I didn't exercise. I wish I kind of would have done a little. But again, I was afraid I would get overwhelmed, and I know what happens when I get overwhelmed. So it was best that I didn't. Are there any other questions that anybody has? Again, if you're watching this video, if you'll click on the original video, I will be able to see your comments. I'm shared, on about 5 different pages. So if you comment on those pages, I don't see those. I can only see if you comment on this one, on my original. Oh, you're welcome. And I don't mind to share. It's just a lot of people, they ask me questions, and I tell them what I'm doing, and they're like, oh no, it's not for me. Yes, Brittany, I would love to be able to walk. They're like, yeah, I can't do that. That's not for me. You know, it's not for everybody, and everybody's body is different, and everybody is different. I don't believe in cheats. I've went 300 and some days without a cheat. See, and keeping it simple is hard when you need variety. I see, and that's another thing. I have a lot of people saying, well, don't you eat yogurt? No. The only dairy I do is like full cheeses, like Parmesan, mozzarella, because they're 0 carb. I don't do fruits. Fruit has tons of carbs. Now, there is keto-friendly fruit, like blueberries. There might be 2 or 3 more. I'm not sure what they are, but they have sugar in them. It's a natural sugar, and I don't do sugar, so I don't do any of those. And the only vegetables I do are dark green ones. I do green beans. I do lettuce. Spinach every now and then. Sometimes spinach just tastes dirty. Yes, I learned to eat to live and not live to eat. Yes, and that, Marty, was the hardest thing. My number 1 hardest thing was admitting who was at fault, and that was me, because I blamed everything and everybody on my eating habits. You know, I mean, a bad day, I'll eat it. A good day, let's celebrate it and eat. You know, anxiety, gotta eat. Wake up during the middle of the night with anxiety, gotta eat. And I'll just tell you, after I got all of that under control, I don't have anxiety. Very rarely do I get anxiety. It just, I think sometimes it all goes hand in hand. And Kyla, maybe for your variety, maybe Pinterest will be your friend. Maybe finding some recipes with things that you like so you can change it up. You know, there's a lot of people that they do that. And Kyla, join some groups on Facebook. I'm on some groups in Facebook, and I'll invite you to them if you want me to. And they show recipes, and they do things, and they show all kinds of foods and stuff. Yes, Marty, I was a stress eater too when my brother, my brother had cancer, and I didn't really stress eat over that. But once he had a stroke, I stress ate. I mean, big time. I gained 30 pounds in just a few months. So I am right there with you with the stress eating. So, and again, I can get together with friends, and what do? We eat. And I still do. It's just I watch what I eat. So, you know, I can go to restaurants, and I have no problem at all finding some food. For instance, I go to Mexican weekly, and I get chicken fajitas. But I get my chicken fajitas with no beans, no rice, no tortillas, and I don't eat the chips. So my fajitas, and I don't get tomatoes, but it's just because I don't like tomatoes. It's not that you can't. So my fajitas consist of the chicken, the onions, the peppers, lettuce, sour cream. Brittany's laughing at me because she knows. And then, you know, use the salsa. Some of the Mexican restaurants, you can use the cheese dip because they use like a jalapeno cheese and melt it down, and they don't put anything in it. But you have to watch because some places put flour and milk in theirs, and that right there will carb it up. So, yes. So, I don't miss out. And I don't feel like I miss out. We go to a steakhouse, you better believe I'm getting a big old steak. I get a big old steak, and I get a salad, and usually a side of broccoli. And I try not to eat my salad all at once. I'm one of these people that bite a salad, bite a steak, bite a salad, bite a steak, piece of broccoli. I don't feel like I'm missing out any. You're having a hectic day, you're running the kids around, or you're doing chores or whatever, and you're starving, and you're like, okay, fine, it's McDonald's. Get a double cheeseburger with no ketchup and take the bun off of it and eat that sucker. I mean, there's no ketchup, there's no bun, there's no carbs. I mean, you do what you got to do. I always say plan, because the more you're planned and ready, the less likely you are to hiccup and fall off the wagon. Kyla, I use ranch dressing. It's got 2 carbs in it, and usually, so I take my salad, say this is my salad bowl, I pour my dressing in it, put the lid back on, and I just sit and shake it. And those 2 tablespoons, or the little packet that they give you that's already measured out, is enough for that salad. But I do ranch. A vinaigrette is really good also, especially like an oil and vinegar vinaigrette. I just prefer ranch. It just tastes so much better with my grilled chicken. So I get things like that. Taco Bell, Taco Bell, you get the Power Menu Bowl. You can get steak or chicken in your Power Menu Bowl. Don't get rice. Don't get black beans. I don't get guacamole because I don't like guacamole, but it's not going to hurt you if you do. So in that salad that you can Power Menu Bowl, it's lettuce, sour cream, that avocado ranch that they have in it. I get grilled chicken, then it's got some cheese in it. It literally has 4 carbs in it. That's it. And I'm pretty sure that's not even net carbs because there's chicken in it. And I want to say it's got like 1 or 2 grams of fiber in it. So it has really low net carbs. And again, I stay between 10 and 15 a day. So I don't have a problem. There are days that I eat 3 meals a day out. So just because you're on keto doesn't mean you can't eat out and you can't do things with the family. And I think that's where a lot of people suffer because they think, oh, well, I can't do that. Yes, you can. Plan. Your phone, look it up. Look up the menu. If you already know where you're going to dinner, look the menu up. Find on there what you're going to be able to eat. Even if your restaurant doesn't have like a grilled chicken, they have it. They just don't have it on the menu. It might say that it's smothered and covered or whatever, but you can always say, hey, can I just get, grilled chicken? You would be surprised that, oh, yes, we've got the gluten-free. Really, because it's not on here. So, always just be prepared. You can make it work at any restaurant, whether it's McDonald's or Taco Bell, or it's a nice sit-down restaurant. You can make it work. You just have to plan, and don't let your hunger control you. Plan before. I mean, you know when you're going to get hungry. You know how you feel when you get hungry. And they tell you at the beginning, when you think you're hungry, drink water. And that does help, but only for so long. Also, when you first start keto, you're not as hungry. You could eat 1 meal and you have to force yourself to eat it. Don't worry about it. Eat when you get hungry. It's again, you eat to live, not live to eat. You have to make that decision. Am I really hungry, or is this just, am I bored and I need something? Chew gum. I chew gum. I chew sugar-free gum. That right there, yes, Marty, every now and then I do fast. I do the intermittent fasting. I do the fasting, so usually my last meal is like 4:30 or 5 p.m. and then I'll eat the next morning at like 11 a.m. Now, I know everybody's like, 4 p.m., are you serious? I go to bed at 8 o'clock. So you don't want to eat 3 to 4 hours before you go to bed, because you don't want to lay down on a full stomach. You don't want to do that no matter what. So, but I'm not hungry, I eat, trust me, I eat good. A lot of people say, well, you must be starving. No, not at all. My husband says I eat more now than I've ever ate. And it's true. It's just I'm eating healthier. And I'm eating things that I'm supposed to eat and not chips and snacks that are false, giving me false, I don't even know what word I'm looking for, but they make me feel full, but really I'm not. And then, like an hour later, it's like eating Chinese food, you eat and you're like, oh my God, I'm stuffed. And then 2 hours later, you're like, well, y'all ready to eat again? Because that's how I feel whenever I ate junk food. So, since my eating habits are different, everything's different. Yes, that does suck, Brittany, when you have late hours. And I'm one of these people that, so if we're out doing stuff and it gets to be like 6:30 or 7, And everybody's like, oh, I'm hungry. And I'm like, great, it's 7 o'clock. I just don't eat. And I know you're not supposed to do that, but I know I'm going to bed at 8 o'clock or 8:30, and I just don't want to eat and lay down and take a chance. I mean, I haven't had heartburn, and I couldn't tell you how long, but I'm still kind of afraid, if that makes sense. I don't have any of the stomach problems that I had before I started. I had IBS, and I think that was a lot of anxiety and stress more than anything. Oh, thank you, Marty. It's just, I don't know. It's just different now. I've trained myself. So if I feel like it's late, I just don't do it. If I feel like it's going to be bad, or if I feel like something's going to be bad, I just don't do it. So like this week, I've cooked 2 roasts. I cooked a roast Sunday I cooked a roast, and I cooked another one last night and let it cook all night long. The first one, I put carrots and potatoes in it with my celery and onions, but I didn't touch those. I dug around, but this time I made it just for me. There's another roast that I used to make, and I'll share some recipes if people want recipes. There was another roast that I used to take, and I would take the roast and take a ranch packet, pour it over it, a thing of banana peppers, pour them in it, and some au jus sauce or gravy, the au jus gravy packet, and put it in it. And then I would cut up an onion and put it in it, and let that cook. And the banana, I don't eat banana peppers, but the flavoring that it gave, and then with the ranch packet and the au jus sauce, it was just, it's something different, you know? I mean, roast, every time you make a roast, you're like, okay. But if you cook it different ways each time, you don't get burnout on it. Just like, you know, like you were saying, Kyla, that you get burnout on your food. I just have to cook, sometimes I just have to cook it a different way. Now my eggs, I don't have scrambled eggs because I don't use milk at all whatsoever. For people that are a coffee drinker, I'm not a coffee drinker. I never have been, so it's nothing new. You can still drink coffee. Black coffee, obviously, or a lot of people use that sugar-free syrup. I've seen them put that in it, and I want to say heavy whipping cream. I'm pretty sure that's what they put in it. Heavy whipping cream and the sugar-free syrup that goes in it, and they made frappuccinos or whatever else with all that stuff. So, and you can still go to Starbucks. I'm not familiar with them, but you can Google it, and they tell you the things that you can get from Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts, or, you know, wherever you're going to go that you want to get those keto-friendly drinks. But again, I'm not a coffee drinker, so that didn't hurt me at all whatsoever. You know, eating desserts doesn't bother me, or not eating desserts does not bother me. I guess it's just because I wanted my goals so bad that I was willing to give up whatever it was to get there. And again, everybody's different. It's hard for me to say, well, if you want it, you'll do it. Because it's not true. It's just I wanted it that bad that that's what I was willing to do to get it. There are different ways of getting there. But I will definitely share some recipes. Still yet, like the Blackstone grill that we have, I cannot wait for warmer weather. It can't get here fast enough. Grilling out on that is my favorite. I mean, you can grill out eggs, bacon, whatever on that, but my favorite thing to throw down is steak and onions and peppers. I cook the onions and peppers until they're black, and then the steak, and it's my favorite thing. I mean, you know, and everybody loves to grill. If you really want to get, you know, I shared a video a few weeks ago making, using my little bitty waffle maker. It's about like this big, and I put cheese in it, and, you know, everybody asked me, did I spray it first? No, but now I know why you asked that, because one day, excuse me, I made an egg, just an egg, no cheese, and it stuck to it completely, and I was like, it's never done this before. Then it dawned on me, I always do the cheese first, so it makes it like it's a grease on it where it melts, and that's why nothing sticks to it afterwards. So I learned very quickly there was a reason why to do the cheese first. But, you know, you can make those and then make the egg, and I eat it as a taco, and that cheese tastes like toast. I mean, it tastes like you're eating something that you shouldn't be eating, but it's carb free. The other thing you can do is you can make that cheese in that waffle and cook a hot dog and put a hot dog in the middle of it, and it would be like a corn dog. I mean, you know, you got to use your imagination sometimes, and that's what I do. Chicken salad is one of my favorite things. Deviled eggs. So, you know, Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving, I made the big dinner. You know, I made the big throwdown for everybody, and I didn't miss out. I couldn't eat the ham because I cooked my ham with brown sugar and pineapples and stuff, so I couldn't eat that. But, you know, if you don't have anything on your turkey or ham, you can definitely eat that. But I ate green beans, I ate deviled eggs. There's nothing in deviled eggs that you can't have. Mayonnaise, you know, Miracle Whip, no carbs. Mustard, no carbs. So, deviled eggs are one of my favorite things to eat. Green beans, I'm trying to think. I make chicken salad every now and then. If you don't want to boil your chicken or do whatever, go get a rotisserie from Walmart or Kroger's, especially late in the evening when they're getting ready to close and they put them on the clearance, and you can get them for like $2 or $3. Pull the chicken off that thing, add some mayonnaise to it and some pickles. Go to town. I see a lot of people eating, the only celery I like is cooked celery. I can't make myself eat raw celery, but I see people eating celery with cream cheese and then that all bagel, or everything but the bagel seasoning, and putting it on that and eating that. I see all kinds of things that people eat. Now, I will say, I've had a few people, you know, so on my group page, you know, we've been counting down till vacation, trying to, you know, see a bunch of us trying to lose the weight. And I post my meals and everything there. And I've had a few people send me pictures of their food. And I think I've hurt some feelings. But I'll just tell you why. So you know, I get pictures of people's food, and we'll say one picture was like 6 slices of pepperoni, 2 pieces of cauliflower, and some ranch dressing. And I'm like, girl, you're going to starve. Get you some food on that plate. Get you a big hunk of steak. Get you a big hunk of grilled chicken. You're eating like a vegetable tray. You're going to starve. You're not going to be able to make this every meal and be able to stick with it. You can't. You might do it 2 or 3 days, but I don't think you'll be able to do it very much longer. It's just, you have to have a meal. You have to be able to, your body has to function. And you're not going to be able to function on like 5 or 6 pepperonis and 2 pieces of cauliflower. You're not going to be able to burn the fat and energy that you need to do. Yes, you need the fat. You know, okay, so that plate that I just explained had no fat on it. Without the fat, you cannot fuel your body. like I said, 5% carbs, 25% protein, 70% fat. You have to hit the fat. And a lot of people have hard times hitting the fat. That's why I make sometimes greasy food. You know, I'll make breakfast for dinner. That morning I'll have fried eggs and bacon, and for dinner, I'll mix it up a little. I'll have fried eggs, bacon, sausage links. Sausage links are 0 carbs. You have to look at your different sausages. Some of them have carbs, some of them don't. If you haven't met your carbs for the day, go for it. And every now and then I throw in some fried bologna because, oh my, who doesn't love fried bologna? 1 carb for a piece of bologna. I think I can handle that. So, you have to mix it up. You don't have to give up everything. Every now and then I do tuna salad. I mean, I don't want to wear tuna out. And I'll get grilled fish from Captain D's. If you're at Captain D's, their lemon pepper whitefish is amazing. It comes on a bed of rice. I take the fish up, scrape off the rice, put it on the other side of the plate, and I eat it. I've tried to tell them no rice, but literally they're like, huh? And it just screws it all up. And so it's just easier just to scrape it off and not eat any of the rice. But a lot of people say, well, I had my Diet Mountain Dew today. Yes, I know Diet Mountain Dew has 0 carbs, but it is full of all kinds of other junk. And you may still lose weight on it, but it might be the thing that causes you to stall. The sugar in it might be the thing that causes you to stall. Or causes your belly to burn, because when you cut out a lot of it and then you're just getting it every now and then, those fake sweeteners, it's like an alcohol and it will burn. You'll feel your belly burning. So, oh, you're welcome, Kyla. I mean, I feel like some people still have some questions. And I get private messages all the time, and I was trying to go through and write them all down so I could kind of touch base on them. There's no stupid questions. I did a lot of research. Again, I was in a group where a girl lost a lot of weight, probably about, I would say 100 pounds. And I watched her journey, and I envied her. And I wanted to be her, and I just couldn't understand, well, if she can do it, I mean, why are the rest of us failing? And I really paid attention in the group, and I watched all of her lives. She went live daily. She was cooking. She was on live. And that's where I learned simple, because she was simple. And now, I mean, she would get up in the morning and cook her bacon and steak. And she went carnivore. She would go carnivore for a week. That would break her stalls. So when she would have stalls, she would go carnivore for a week. Or with her fasting, she would eat really good, and then she would fast for like 36 hours. So during her fast, all she would have would be like water and coffee. And that's it. And, she did really, really well with that. I don't try going that long without eating, just for the fact that I have kids. And I'm pretty sure they drive me crazy anyways, that I would really go insane if I was having to give up food and having to deal with fighting constantly. If anybody has 2 boys, you know that it's a constant fight. It's 24/7. So I don't think it would be fair for my family to have to try to put up with me. I mean, that's pretty much it. I just don't think it would be fair. I could do it, and I know I could do it, but I would hate to have to put up with me in between that, if that makes sense. So, but I did, I watched her, and I watched her hit her goals, and I've set goals for myself. I had 4 goals. When I started, I had 4 goals, and like I said, I started at 256 pounds. So my first goal was 199. I wanted out of the 200s. So 199 was my first goal. And then it was 170. And then it was 150, which I have not hit yet. And then 145 being my final goal. So I still have 2 more goals to hit. But I'm so close. I'm so close. And I've been asked, what are you going to do when you hit your goals? Well, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, because I changed my lifestyle. This is not a diet for me. This was never a diet for me. I had to get out of that. I had to get out of that frame of mind that this was a diet, because every diet I've ever done has failed. Any diet that a friend has done, within years they gained it back. Any diet I have done, not only did I gain it back, I gained it back double, if not triple. So I promised myself I was not going to diet, that mine was going to be a lifestyle change. And we'll get into, so when I first said, and this is kind of comical, Brad, I'm going to lose weight. My husband is my biggest supporter. He is my biggest fan. Don't take me wrong at all. His reaction was, oh, what are you going to do this time? How long is this going to last? How much is this going to cost? What's this going to cost us? Because that's every diet. Oh, well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this. And, well, it didn't last. So, this time when I said, you laugh at me if you want, but this is it. And, like 2 days in, you want a pizza? No. So it took me 6 months before I ate the toppings off pizza. I mean, I didn't do that at first, because I was like, oh God, no, I'll want the pizza. Nope. Eating the toppings, I'm not missing anything, because for one, Little Caesars doesn't usually get their crust already done anyways, and it's usually sticky and nasty, so I'm getting the best part of the deal anyways. But seriously, he was just like, okay, what are you doing next? How long is this going to last? What's it going to cost? Okay, a month goes by. He didn't see any weight that I had lost. Okay, so our schedules are totally different. I work during the day, he works in the evenings, so we only see each other like 2 days a week, and only on one day that we see each other kind of a full day because of our schedules. So for that first month, he couldn't tell that I'd lost weight. I'd probably lost 10 to 12 pounds that first month. He didn't see it. Nobody did, really. And I didn't tell anybody else what I was doing. Before I was all up on Facebook, I'm starting this. If you don't want to watch my meals, you can just delete me now. I'm doing this. If you don't want to follow me, delete me now. And tell anybody my goals, besides my husband, because I wanted his support. And I didn't tell anybody, because I was going to smash my goals without the haters. Because I'll just tell you, everybody is your friend until you're doing better than they are. And that's just the God's honest truth. I have realized a lot of people don't, I've been told, ugh, Sarah, honey, you're starting to look funny. You don't need to lose anymore. Or, oh, well, this isn't going to last. You'll put it back on pretty soon. You know what? You're not really a friend if you're going to do that or say that. I'm not asking for you to cheer me on. I don't need a cheerleader. I'm my own cheerleader. But I don't need the negativity. So I've wrote a lot of people off because really they're not your friends. They're your friends until they realize that you're doing something that you actually set your mind to and you're succeeding. People don't like people that succeed and get ahead of them. It's just the facts of life. You have to stay in a tribe of people who want the best for you. Always. Always. You know, okay, so you get into a big lump sum of money. You got all kinds of friends until you're not doing stuff for them. And then, it's the negativity. It's that way in all walks of life. No matter what. That's how it is. So, 2 months into it, my husband still doesn't notice that I've lost weight. And at this time, I'm like 30 pounds that I've lost. And I'm like, seriously? I've lost 30 pounds and you can't tell? Okay, I was telling. I still had the fat rolls on my back and all this, but I could tell that I had lost some weight. He didn't. That's right. You're either for me or against me. And there is, you'll be surprised the people that are against you, even family. I'd be like, man, I've lost 30 pounds and he still hasn't noticed. One day he gives me a hug and he was like, my arms go a little bit farther than they did. I'm sitting here thinking, it's about time you notice something. Then, a month or so later, out of the blue, wow, baby, you look really good. How much have you lost? I'm like, 40 pounds. It's like, wow. After a while, people start noticing, and there's a thing, like the first week you notice, 2 weeks in, nobody notices, 3 weeks in, nobody notices, 4 weeks in, people start to take notice, 8 weeks in, people start to say stuff. And that's kind of true. You're noticing your goals, but not everybody else is until it starts getting drastic. I don't think I announced any of my weight loss. I think I had lost 70 pounds before I posted my first picture of me that I had lost weight. Because, like I said, I was doing this for me. I wasn't going to post about it. I wanted to knock these goals out of the park. And then I wanted to show, this is what I can do. This is what I did. I don't need the talk. I don't need the, it's not going to last. Because that's just what you get. So I wanted to knock it out of the park. And I feel like I kind of did. Because, so COVID kind of helped. So COVID was going on. So it's not like I got out. So, we didn't go anywhere. So nobody saw me because of COVID. But, once things kind of started opening up, and whatnot, now I had to work no matter what. My coworkers are definitely great. They gave me heck daily. They would buy pizza. Ooh, you want some pizza? You want some pizza? How about these cookies? And, and I think after a few months, they were like, oh crap, she's serious. She's really not going to eat it. But yes, Marty, I did it. And, you know, some people, before I started this, let me backtrack to the very beginning. Shortly after COVID had started, I had looked into gastric or a lap band because I was obese according to, you know, medical standards. I was obese. And I had tried all of the diets. I had tried all the calories. I'd tried all that stuff, and I just wasn't succeeding at all. So, I did the consultation for the lap band and all of that stuff, and had the appointments, and this is where they get you. You have to fill out like 30 pages worth of paperwork. And they review it all, and they do all of this stuff, and then you go in for a consultation, and you do all this stuff, and then, so then you have to go in for some heart test, which is kind of funny because that's what I do for a living. I work in a nuclear pharmacy, and we make the medications to do heart scans with. And before you can have gastric or a lap band or anything, you have to have heart scans done to make sure that your heart is strong enough and able to be able to endure the weight loss and all that other stuff. So anyways, I meet with this group, and we talk about it, and they tell me, you know, all of this stuff, and I was like, okay. And I'd already talked to my husband. I'd already told him, I'm having this done. I'm tired of being the way I am. I'm done. So, we go into, you know, okay, we're going to do this. I'll have the heart scans done, and then we'll schedule for like a month out. And I was like, great, sounds great. Well, about a week later, I get a phone call from Lake Cumberland, and Miss Pruitt, I'm sorry to inform you, but your insurance is not going to cover any of it. So you'll have to pay up front the $12,000 or whatever. And I was just like, well, I ain't got it. Thank you for your time. And that was so heartbreaking because I just knew that was the only thing that was going to allow me to lose the weight. So I did a lot of research, and when you have that done, you pretty much have to do the keto diet. Not at first. At first you have to do the liquid diet. But you have to pretty much do and stay on keto if you want to continue to lose the weight and make your lap band or whatever work. So I was like, you know, I'm just going to do the work that I would have to do. And that's, you know, that was the research before I started, was I know I'm going to have to do this, so I might as well do it. And that's kind of how it all began. So, yes, I did it without the surgery, but you know, not everybody can, and I wouldn't knock anybody that has to have the surgery, because sometimes you have to have that. You have to have that push. And I thought I did, and I was willing to do it, except for my insurance wouldn't pay for it. So, but you know, I mean, I felt like I needed that push because every time I had tried in the past, it failed. And like I said, until I said and I admitted what the problem was, it did fail. Until God told me that I was the problem, and He literally told me I was the problem. When I said, please tell me why I'm so sick, please tell me. And as I'm sitting here putting probably cheesecake in my mouth, you know, I mean, that was the answer right there. You're doing it to yourself. Nobody but you. I want to thank everybody for hopping on and listening to me. I hope I answered some of your questions. I hope I didn't scare anybody. Again, I keep it simple. Keep your electrolytes. You have to have electrolytes. If you don't, you will be miserable. You'll be miserable. And I put it in my drink 24/7. I don't go without it. I keep these in my purse, and when I go to a restaurant, they go in my drink. So, thank you guys. And if you have any other questions, feel free to private message me if you don't want to say anything or do anything in front of other people. It's perfectly fine. I will try my best to answer you. If you want to join any of the groups that I am in, let me know, and I will add you to them. Again, you can't get offended, because there's a lot of people that, you know, they'll ask you questions, and then it's like the keto police. They go after you if if they don't like what you say. So you kind of have to go in with a grain of salt, because, not everybody is like you, and everybody is different. And that's like with me. Just because it works for me doesn't mean it'll work for everybody else. And I have no cheat meals. I don't do anything like that, because I know if I did, I would fail. And a lot of, I know there's a lot of people that are like me, like that. So, sometimes you just have to do what you have to do. Yes, the keto police are so bad. So bad, Marty. So, people ask me all the time, what do you do? Well, you can't sustain that. Well, I've almost went a year. I'm doing pretty good. So, and people get offended easily. But I think that just comes with it. That's just in all aspects of life. People get offended. We don't know how to realize that everybody has an opinion on things, and everybody is different. That's what makes life great. That's what makes life not boring. So, thank you guys for listening, and I would love to answer any questions that you have. You guys have a wonderful night, and be kind, and we will see you guys later. Bye.